All right, in this third video, I'm going to cover the menus, or it is the UI of this plugin, and give you a demo of a few things you can do with it. So let me start by explaining what the UI has. So again, if I go to AI Hub, you will see a few elements in it. And this first, let me close this, guys. In this first screen, in this tab, you have the list of assistants you have. Whenever you create a new assistant, you click the refresh button to get it reflected here. These are the models you have installed in your machine. And this is the URL of the host where you have this Olama installed. Okay. Now, if you saw the previous video, I have these models installed in my machine, right? But this is showing some other models. Why is that? Well, because I actually have another machine in my local network. I exposed Olama to a port in my local network, and I am using that other one now to show you that you can actually connect to another machine and run the models there. Probably you don't need to change it if you are just going to run the models in the same machine. Now, this API class, I will talk about this in the last video where I will show how to extend this. So let's skip that for now. And finally, you have the version here, and this link will take you to the GitHub page that explains a few ways you can support. And I will also cover that in this other video, how to support this project. That should be a pretty quick video. Now let's move to the chat window. In the chat window, you will see a few things. One is the quick prompts. Let me just show a few ones. So this one doesn't have quick prompts. So every time you start a chat with an assistant that doesn't have quick prompts, it will start with this message. Okay. The quick prompts you can create. These are Godot resources. I will go through the configuration of this little later in the next video. Okay, but I just want to show you now the UI so you understand every part of it. So these are the quick prompts. These allow you to write prompts to the assistant so it can so you don't need to type that much in the chat, but also this quick prompts is what gives the assistants the ability to write into the editor, right? So if you just come here and say, hey, write a description for this code, and then you copy and paste this, right? What it will do is it will just write it in the chat, right? Because you are just chatting with it. Okay, so it responded. So the quick prompts allow the assistant to interact with the editor. Okay, so now if instead I click describe here, this wrote into the editor, right? So it was able to interact with the editor because the quick prompt has a configuration that tells what to do with the response of the assistant. So it can write it over your selection, it can replace your selection. After your selection, it can format it as a comment, things like that. So, okay, so now we have the tabs of the different assistants. We have covered the quick prompts. Of course, this is a chat, nothing special to mention there. You might have noticed we have this icon, this kind of random robots, okay, that show this animation when they are thinking. This in this case, for example, I'm running a model that is kind of heavy for my machine, so it's taking a time just to say hi. So you can see it is thinking, and you can also edit the conversations using this button. So let's say sometimes when you are chatting with your assistants, they may get, maybe you were discussing something about this function, and then you want to move to something completely different, and the assistant still has kind of this memory and tries to make some connection about what you were discussing before and what you are discussing now. So of course you could start a new assistant, but you can also come to the memory of the assistant and say, okay, forget this, right? And with that, for the assistant, this is the only that has happened. There's an automatic message that the plugin does for you, asking the assistant to say hello and letting it know its name. And you can even modify here the its memory. Okay, you can modify its memory. Let's see what this says. So now this assistant thinks it gave me this kind of weird weird greeting, right? So I will say yes, what? So for the assistant now, I am responding uh, to that kind of aggressive greeting, and let's see, it will probably apologize, or maybe it just got no, it just got confused. But whatever, you can edit the conversation. You can edit the conversations. You can edit the memory. This is a feature I haven't seen in a lot of chatbots, and sometimes they get confused or they get into a lot of they kind of hyper focus on certain things you said before, and you want them to forget. This is a nice feature for that. What else is here? You can you can change the temperature of the models. This is what says if they are going to be more precise or more creative. Usually that's the way they explain it in layman terms, right? This is pretty much something that allows the model to go, if you move it to creative, it will go to, let's say, more rare responses, right? If you go to precise, it's going to almost always respond kind of the same thing, okay? Or you can just keep it as default. All models have like the default temperature that it is kind of recommended for that. So you can pretty much work without using this. Now, you can also change the model on the fly. So let's say this Mistral didn't kind of respond as I was expecting to this change in its memory, right? So let's see what Llama 2 says. Okay, what? So I changed the model. Right now it is running in Llama 2. I got a bit carried away. Let me start again. Okay, so you can see that now it kind of understood uh, what I was trying to make it think, and you can see the whole history of the chat is sent to the model. It's not, the models don't really have like they don't really have memory. You are sending the whole chat every time, right? So it doesn't matter if you change to another model, etc. It will like every time it sends the whole conversation and you get it back. And that's giving the context so it can respond. So with this, I covered pretty much the different aspects of the UI. Uh, Now, in the next video, I will explain exactly how you do this setup for your project.